All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the pre-market prep. Hope everyone is having an amazing morning. Hope you had an amazing day yesterday. So, good morning, guys. Today, number two of this already interesting week. Good morning, Norm. How you doing today?
Hey, good buddy. How are you doing?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Just checking out the SPY here and just seeing what's going on. Obviously, a lot of activity happening there. So let's get into that. So we got another interesting day. We had a great day yesterday. So Norm, if you could just give us a little insight on what the market pulse is kind of doing today and what we can expect somewhat today, if any big announcements with news that we have coming up.
Yeah, so we just got this continued pop from yesterday. It's still up 3%. A little surprising to see it still as strong as it is, but I think we all kind of knew that once there was a little bit of optimism about things not continuing to deteriorate at the pace that they had been, that we might get some kind of a relief rally in this still downtrending market. So we'll see. We'll see if we've already put in the low or not a while back. I'm not, none of us know. It would be surprising to me, but I've been surprised just about every day for the last 2 months. Anyway, no significant earnings really today. I looked through the couple of companies that released this morning. They've either got no volume or just nothing really special to keep an eye on. There was no economic data released yesterday. We've got job openings at 10 a.m. That's really about it today. Tomorrow we do have FOMC minutes from the last meeting. Should be interesting to hear when that comes out at 2 p.m. It's normal time. Um, and then Thursday, once again, we're going to have weekly jobless claims for last week. So that estimate's 6 million. It was 6.6 last week, which it was a record. So we'll see where that comes in and a couple other things. And just a reminder, short week, markets close for Good Friday on Friday. So we got a 3-day weekend coming, which is well deserved for all of us with these gappers lists and this crazy hectic trading we've had going on for the last 2 months, month and a half.
Yeah, it has been pretty hectic, that's for sure. All right, guys, so let's get to it today. Looking at this list again, massive list here. A lot of stuff gapping up today. Obviously, with the spike being up and 3%, also gapped up nicely. Yeah, actually gapped up nicely and stay strong yesterday for almost the entire day. A lot of stocks rallying as well. You can see here we just have tons of stuff here. So we're not obviously going to go through all of these. We're going to go through maybe the top five just to see if there's anything really significant on these big double-digit numbers we have here. We have a 25% up. So you got the cruise lines going up nicely here, 20%, 17 on Carnival. Royal Cruise Line also here as well with a nice big gap. So a lot of these stocks that have been getting hit pretty hard, doing pretty well this morning. So we'll look into those, see what their pre-market activity looks like, and then we'll hop over to see what the ones that are gapping down this morning seem to be some of the ones we had before, CODX, APT. We'll look at those, and then we're going to throw it out to the chat, guys, see what you guys like this morning. We might look into some favorites such as Uber has been one we've been watching quite a bit. We'll look at some of the ones like Roku, things like that we know that can be very explosive and trade very well in this market. Also, BA is one that we've been watching, traded great yesterday. We'll take a look at that as well. Here's what we had yesterday. We had a pretty decent watch list, guys. A lot of these traded very, very well. We had CCL on here. I didn't have Wayfair, but that was called out in the room. That was also nice. Again, a lot of stocks. We had a pretty decent watch list build yesterday. So let's get into it. Let's go over to the bottom. Let's start with what's gapping down this morning. Let's look at CODX. What's the deal with this here? This is down. Looks like right now 8.6. Again, just a horrible pre-market activity. The daily chart hasn't been all that great. I didn't have this on my list yesterday. Let's see how I actually traded. Again, you do have a drop here, then a pop. Again, just not all that clean. Without looking at the actual price action, didn't seem all that clean yesterday. Actually didn't rally with the market neither. As you can see, a lot of stocks took off around this time here. This one just kind of went sideways a bit. So I'm not a fan of it even today, guys. 170,000 shares traded. It is down 8.3. But again, this pre-market is just not looking great, and I have not been a fan of this stock in some time. Look at the daily, it's just really all over the place. Let's head over to CIM. This one is gapping down as well, 8%. Also
On a
not great.
secondary, and
Yeah.
it's that's garbage. It's I
hmm
looked it up. It's on a secondary. It's a real estate fund. So.
Yeah, they're definitely not looking great, guys. I mean, you can see the pre-market is looking horrible
Orange.
as well. So we'll skip that one. APT, another one that has been very active in our list, showing up in our gapper slips quite a few times. This morning they're down 6.4. Pre-market is actually looking okay. You're starting to get a very nice, very active pre-market activity here. So this could turn into something definitely worth keeping an eye on this one to see what it ends up doing here. But right now, you do have a little bit of volume, 124. You're down 6.4 on this one. Now, the thing with this one, it is a low flow stock, so it is going to be joining our low flow pile all the way down here. We'll make some space for it. All right. Here we go. Put it down in this area for the low flow team. This is trading. The flow for this one is 11.3. So very low flow, guys. For that reason, I'm going to throw it down there. All right, next, what do we have? Let's go over to what's green this morning. Let's start with the top five. I want to see what's going on here. We got some really big numbers. Let's start with AKER. They are up 30%, 1.2 million shares traded. This is also a low flow. This one has a very good pre-market activity, has some really good volume. Again, we can definitely keep an eye on this one. So right now, I had a big day yesterday, really high pre-market already at 850, back down to 620 now, trying to build the base and get going. But again, the pre-market and the volume looks really good on this one, so we're going to add that one on there next to APT. Here's
Yeah,
a
this one was actually Acre was called out by our Benzinga squawk when it started to run yesterday in the room.
uh,
It was on some news of vaccine production.
Gotcha. Here on so we'll definitely keep an eye on this one. They had a big day yesterday. Look at the volume, right? This thing was pretty much dead, and then took off here with some really significant volume. So that's nice
Hmm.
to see. So we'll keep an eye on this one, guys. Again, a little lower flow. It's sitting at 12.5, so we still want to be very careful with this one. But definitely the pre-market and the action is there for sure today. Let's look at NCLH this morning. They are up huge, up 21%. I mean, this stock has been beaten up pretty bad. Obviously, they all have, but it seems like a lot of them just kind of stuck around here and they didn't go for another leg down as these cruise lines did, right? The cruise lines, the airlines, they really got hit pretty bad on that second kind of leg after the big drop, right? So this one's up quite a bit, up nicely today, 21%, 875,000 shares traded. This is worth keeping an eye on. So we're going to throw this right over here and see
So all these
LH.
cruises, news came out that the Saudi sovereign wealth fund has put a pretty big investment now and disclosed it into CCL. So I think most of these are moving on the sympathy move with CCL. I'm not seeing anything individually on them
Yeah.
other than that.
Gotcha. And usually CCL is the one that really trades very clean, anyways. And it usually has, as you can see here, a lot more volume. 7 million shares traded right now. Now, pre-market's a little bit choppy, could be because there's so much volume, gapped up nicely, up 18%. NCLH has a better pre-market activity here, breaking out nicely above the highs of the pre-market that it did a couple of minutes ago. So the pre-market's looking a little bit better here. But CCL, we know it can be very explosive and it can get the volume for sure. So we'll keep an eye on that one as well. RCL, as Norm mentioned, probably also another sympathy move. The volume is a lot lighter. Pre-market's looking a little bit better, very very similar to NCLH. But we'll keep these three on here. We'll keep one of those. We're not going to watch all of those this morning. Let's take a look over at the airlines this morning. We have JetBlue, we have Save, we have United. Let's take a look at those and see what's going on there. So here on Save Spirit, we are gapping up 16% this morning, 150,000 shares traded. Pretty, not the greatest pre-market activity right now. Let's take a look at United, see what that's doing today. United popping up nicely, 16% better pre-market activity, more volume. So we'll definitely keep United on here this morning. Now let's take a look over at JetBlue. We'll do Delta and American Airlines. We'll pick the best ones out of all of those this morning. JetBlue, wow, no volume on JetBlue, so we'll skip that one. Let's go. Oh, I'm sorry, JetBLU is the one, it's the ticker. Here we go. Oh yeah, we do have volume here. So this one also trading nicely this morning. I'm just gonna throw them all on here, guys. We'll fine tune them. We'll pick the best one out of all of these. Spirit didn't look all that great right now, so we're gonna skip on Spirit for a minute. The volume is really, really light at the moment. United Airlines we like. Let's look at Delta. Has been very active, also looking great. So we'll put Delta on here. And then the last one, American Airlines, we'll pick the best one or two. American Airlines got a great pre-market activity, some really good volume, 2.3 million shares traded. So I definitely like the way that one is looking this morning. So we're going to throw that one on there. All right, guys, I just want to do two more. I want to do MGM, and did we miss any other one? And KSS. We'll do those two, and then we'll go over to the chat, see what you guys like this morning. Norm, if there's anything you want to go over that you like today as well. MGM, this one had a huge day yesterday. Again, traded very nice. A lot of us took this trade yesterday, made out very well. Today is still very strong, gapping up 16%, 451,000 shares traded. Again, getting towards the most recent highs right in this area over here. So yeah, worth watching MGM this morning. I'm going to throw that on there as well. I think that could be a good continuation today. They had a really big day yesterday.
You need to fix JetBlue in your watch list.
Is it the wrong ticker?
You're missing a letter on
Yeah,
there.
here you go. Let's put a, thanks for that. Here we go. There we go. Yep, JetBlue is all set. All right, so MGM we have here, guys. This is pretty good. Great day yesterday. Traded very nice, very clean. Next, I want to look at KSS, and then we'll see what you guys like on your end. So KSS, this is Kohl's Corporation here. This is also trading very nice this morning. Good pre-market activity. Again, they also had a big day yesterday, so we can definitely watch this retailer here and see what kind of action we're going to get out of them today, this morning. So again, guys, looking at this list, we have quite a bit on here. Norm, I'm going to kick it to you. See, do you like anything so far this morning that you have had a chance to look at?
I'm still looking, man. I'm a little bit on overload.
Gotcha. Yes, there's definitely a lot to go through here this morning. So let's start with our chat. Let's start with YouTube this morning. See what you guys got, and let's go over any tickers that you might think that that look good today. So CCL, we have IQ. We haven't heard from IQ in a long time. Let's take a look at that. So IQ doesn't really have the volume right now, guys. I mean, the pre-market doesn't look all that great. Only 72,000 shares traded right now. I mean, we got a lot more stuff that's looking a lot better than that. USO is US Oil. This one, again, one that has been pretty fun to trade is Oxy. In regards to that, this one is up now quite a bit this morning. This one's been trading very clean. We took several trades off of this in the chat a couple of days ago as well. So if you want to watch this one looks very good. It gets the volume. It's not the best clean trading stock, but it is one you can watch this morning. All right, so let's take a look at Uber. Uber's another one of our favorites that we also like to keep an eye on.
Did you already look at KS? Yeah, you got KSS.
Yeah, KSS is interesting today, man. This one, I like the pop we're getting here. I like the pre-market activity, so this is definitely one to keep an eye on. Uber this morning, also another one that's up 5%, 5.7, 221,000, also looking pretty good. Now, Uber tends not to have the best pre-market activity, and they trade very well. They can be very explosive, so we're going to keep an eye on Uber as well. So that's a good one. Let's look at BA. BA has been one of our favorites over the last couple of days. It's been trading so clean for a stock that usually does not trade clean at all. Today they have another beautiful pre-market activity, and I want to show you what we did yesterday on this. Look at the trade yesterday, the action yesterday. This thing was trending so nicely. Obviously, the SPY and everything was trending very well. But this one was one of the most cleanest stock that we had yesterday on our chat room. So again, just a beautiful trade here. Today they look very strong, up almost 10%, 1.3 million shares traded, and it's trading so clean. So definitely worth keeping on our list this morning. Next, let's look at APA. I don't usually watch gold, so someone mentioned gold here, so nuggets and stuff like that I don't usually have on my main watch list, so I usually skip those. APA is not looking all that great, guys. It's pre-market activity. Looks a little bit choppy at the moment. We have had some good trades off of this one, but lately I have not been watching it. Right now, I'm not seeing anything all that great in this pre-market. I think we got some other really good ones on here. Uber starting to get going. That can be probably better for the market open. Maybe that could be possibly a good one for a secondary. And even out of secondary, you're going to have a lot on here. You're not going to be able to watch all of this on here. You're going to be able to pull off a secondary list that's still going to be better looking than that one at the moment. Let's look at Microsoft. So Microsoft right now, see what we have. Microsoft's got a choppy pre-market activity. Great day yesterday. Someone mentioned Microsoft yesterday. I did not keep it on my list. You can see here it did trend upwards. Again, not as clean as like a BA. If you look at BA's chart, if you look at MGM's chart yesterday, it was a lot cleaner. And this tends to be the issue with Microsoft sometimes. Great open though, by the way. Had a beautiful drop here, beautiful pre-range breakdown, beautiful engulfing pattern reversing back up to VWAP, and it traded very well at the morning open. But then after that, it just seems very choppy. Even though it's trending here, it's not the cleanest trading stock. That's my issue with Microsoft. But again, they're gapping up 2.8 this morning. It's got some volume. I'm not going to add it to my list as of right now. Again, I just think that the pre-market's just a little bit on the choppy side at the moment. Um, so the VIX short, yes, you could do the VIX short. We don't put that on our main watch list, but this is something where you can take several scalps on. We usually watch TVIX. Is the one to watch, but again, this is so high priced now. Still sitting
TVIX
at,
is too volatile right now
yeah,
because
it's
it's since
way
it's
too
levered,
nuts.
so
Yeah,
it's easier to trade
yep.
VXX.
And look at the price action. There's 244 right now. So again, we don't usually put this on our watch list, guys. But if the market goes one way or the other, you can take a few scalps off of that. But we're not gonna add it to our list right now. All right, we'll do two more. Then we'll go over to our chats. Let's do NIO. What's NIO up to this morning? Also, let's get it over on both chat charts. Here we go. All right, so gapping up 12% right now. I'm not a fan of the pre-market on NIO. 1.7 million shares traded right now. Seems a little bit choppy. Again, guys, we just have some really good pre-market activity here. Look at RCL. Look at JetBlue. United Airlines also has a great pre-market activity. MGM has a beautiful pre-market activity here, looking to hit that level we have here, 1526. Uber starting to get going, and BA. So I just don't like the way that one looks at the moment. Let's take a look at some quick favorites. AMD
I'm like
on
an
here.
Apple and Roku.
Yeah, I was actually gonna get to those. Apple, Roku, AMD. Let's look at Nvidia. But AMD here, guys, up 3% with some really good volume. This could be one to watch as well. Let's look at Apple this morning. What are they up to? I'm sure they're up nicely. 3%, 859. And again, great day yesterday as well, holding strong here this morning. What was the other one you said? Roku.
Yeah.
Yep. Let's look at
I like
Roku.
it, the pre-market's not a ton of activity, but that's not too uncommon for Roku, but I do like it on the daily.
Yeah, we've seen this so many times from Roku, man. It has this weird, choppy pre-market activity, and then it really just takes off. Again, it's another one of these explosive stocks that we love to watch. And when it is trading well, it is very easy to read the price action on it. So I definitely like Roku as well. Even though this pre-market, guys, on a normal basis, we'll look at this pre-market and say it looks choppy and it's not all that great. But we know this stock from trading is so much that we're going to keep it on our list. All right, guys, let's go over to our chat. What do you guys have this morning that you like? Just going to scroll up a little bit. So we have Uber's on our list. American Airlines, did we look at that one? Yes, that's on our list as well. Another great pre-market activity here, taking off beautifully. Starbucks, XSBUX, makes me think of LK. We'll look at that next. Let's see what they're doing. Did they have earnings? Their earnings yesterday on LK? I know we were talking about
It
that.
was no, it's on the 15th. I know somebody said that, but it's
Somebody said
not. It
that.
wasn't yesterday.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't know where that came from.
Okay, so maybe there's some miscommunication there from someone. All right, so here's Starbucks, guys. This one is popping up again. Not the best pre-market activity right now. Seems pretty choppy. Very light on the volume. Up 5.1. This could be a nice secondary. The daily looks great because it's breaking out of this area that you have here now. Look at these daily candles. They're not the cleanest over the last couple of days. They have been very, very choppy. Opposed to if you look at the action from here to here, you can see how beautifully this is trading here. Then here just kind of gets a little bit choppy as it's just kind of consolidating in this range here. So again, got some action going on right now. I don't like the pre-market. Looks just a little bit choppy for me at the moment. Let's take a look at what else we have. We have somebody here with. Let's look at OK. What OK's doing. Not much. Actually, no. Actually, they got 1.3 million shares traded. They're not gapping huge this morning, up to only 3.6, which is not a lot for a stock that just dropped. What was it? Heavy double digits. I forget the actual number. But this thing went from 26 down to 6. Right. Kind of trying to probably test this low right here. Low of the previous day close is very close to their low of this base. So they made a new low yesterday. Again, so interesting stock here after being hit like that. They got a decent pre-market activity, and actually, this could be interesting. This actually could be interesting that they might be heading back down to their previous day close here.
I've got no shorts available there on IB.
Oh, you don't? If we don't have shorts, it's not as fun. Oh, yeah, we don't. No shorts on IB. So that's not going to work too well. Will not make our final list. So we have BA, guys. TWO. Is this two Harvards? Okay, the TWO's got 380. What is the flow on this stock? I don't think I ever traded this one. Let's look at TWO. 270. So it is a large flow stock. Gapping up nicely here, 35% this morning. Again, pre-market looks interesting. We can throw it down here. Again, I'm not a fan of these low price stocks that move so much like this, even though this one is not a low flow stock. Again, you want to be careful with the number of shares you take. So we're going to put it on here. We'll take a look at it closely to see how this pre-market activity develops. All right, let's do a few more. What else we have, guys? M, and we'll do Zoom. Actually, three more, and then RAD, and then we'll head over to announcements and kind of see what we got going on here. So here is Macy's this morning. This could be interesting. Macy's popping up quite a bit, but I like Kohl's today. If I'm going to watch any one of these retail companies, I think Kohl's is the one that's moving pretty nicely. It's got better action than Macy's does. So I might keep an eye on that. Now, I'm not saying Macy's not moving pretty good. You have a good pre-market activity. You have 519 up 13%. Another stock that has been hit pretty hard as well. Let's look at Zoom, see what they're up to. I know yesterday they were very active. Yesterday they were gapping down nicely. Yes, I did recover, as you can see here, and today we're down. So one of the stocks is down 1.6. This will be hitting our turbo break, our gap down scanners very soon if it can get below 2% here. So so I'm interested in this one. This has some negative news behind it with the security issues that they're facing. So definitely worth watching this one to see what kind of action we're going to get here in the pre-market. Are we going to continue to drop down towards this 111 level that we have here, or are we going to bounce? So the markets are strong, and this one is really struggling here. So I want to keep an eye on that one. Oxy, we looked at earlier. Let's see what Oxy's doing right now. Wow, Oxy's about to take off here. Obviously, markets is doing well, so this is going to be doing well as well. We can look at this. This is probably one of the best oil tickers that I have seen so far. That trades pretty clean, a pretty tight spread overall. So yeah, definitely one we can keep an eye on this morning. All right, guys, we have a huge list, obviously, but there's some stuff here we're going to remove. We have like about 4 airlines. We have 3 cruise lines. We're going to take those out, pick the best one out of those 2. We have a Coast instead of Macy's. We have Roku, Apple, AMD, BA. We'll probably keep two of those or so and kind of fine tune this list a little bit more. But with that said, let's first get over to announcements, kind of go over what's going on there. We'll come back and do some levels of support and resistance.
All right, guys. So with everybody trapped at home, we're trying to put out as much free content as we can for the trader community. Part of that, we launched our market close show that we've been talking about doing internally for a while. Peter, Brian, and Mike trying on funny hats, trading close, talking about earnings. Time is off on that. It's 3:30 to 4:15, Monday through Friday, except for this week is Monday through Thursday since the market's closed. This is the old one, bud.
Oh, it is. Apologies for that. Let me see. Yeah, I don't have the new one now, so we'll skip this and just go to towards the end here.
That's all right. Go back to that second
this one here.
Yeah,
Yep.
pull that off. Don't even. Yeah, just get rid of it. So as far as our success, just kill the slides if you would.
Yep.
Our success webinar for this week is Peter. Tomorrow night, 8 p.m., he'll be talking about trading his lightning bolt pattern. Next week, Brian Shannon, Alpha Trades, he'll be talking about anchored VWAP. Tonight, we've got Dr. Jonathan Katz. Our in-house psychologist. He will be talking about getting over fear of getting into or taking a trade. And then also, if you're watching us on YouTube and like to try out the room, you can do so at a discount. Use the promo code premarket24. When you check out for the intro membership, you'll get a week in the room at a discount. Doesn't auto renew or turn into any other kind of membership.
All right, excellent, man. Thank you. All right, guys, so let's get to it. Let's go through this list and see what we like here this morning. So first up, we have the cruise line. So we have NCLH, we have Carnival, we have Royal Caribbean. Out of these, I really like CCL looks very choppy. It has the volume, but the choppiness right now in the pre-market is not looking all that great. NCLH and RCL have a better pre-market activity. I think NCLH is the one I'm going to watch this morning. I'm going to take off RCL. I'm going to keep Carnival here for now because although this is a very choppy pre-market activity, we've seen how explosive this stock can be. So let's keep an eye on it. Let's hopefully that it can get a better pre-market activity. It has significant volume over at 8.4 million shares traded. So that's quite a bit. So we'll keep that on there. Let's look at the airline. So we have United, we have JBL, we have Delta. Let me see, American Airlines. So which one we like here? So United looks okay. JBL seems a little bit all over the place. So I'm going to remove that one. It has the lighter volume at the moment. Delta has a lot of news behind it as well, with some investors, jumping ship on it, but they're up 14%. So this could be interesting. American Airlines is taking off nicely. Let's just pick one. You know what? Let's keep United and American Airlines. We'll do levels for these two. They have better volume right now, great pre-market activity. And then later on, we can fine tune which one we like to keep. MGM, I like this morning, had a very big clean day yesterday. Let's look at the action yesterday, how it traded. Look at this beautiful pop here at the open. Did get a huge rejection, headed back down, find the base at the VWAP, and then traded nicely all the way up here. The market sold off here, if you guys remember, around this time frame. But it was still able to regain some of these moving averages and trade very well back towards the high and close very strong. So I'm interested in this one. This one has the news. I believe there are some company owners and presidents buying into the stock heavily. So that's always a good sign when you have people inside the company, buying in, investing in their own company stock. So that's good. KSS is okay right now. Doesn't have a very clean pre-market activity, but I want to keep an eye on one of these retailers just to see what it does. The other one we were looking at was Macy's. Let's see if that's looking any better. We can switch this one over to Macy's if needed. They're both okay. They're both not great. Either one will work, but right now I think we'll keep an eye on Coast for now. We'll keep an eye on Coast. Here's Uber, guys. This one could be explosive. Not the best pre-market activity. Starting to get going now with some volume, 269. So we'll keep an eye on that. BA I like. It's been trading very well. Now out of AMD, Roku, Apple. Let's keep one of these. We're not going to keep all of them. So we have AMD here. We have Roku. I think between AMD and Apple will be the ones to watch today. I really like Apple right now. It's got some really good volume as well. So let's do that. Let's keep Apple. I'm going to remove AMD, guys. Again, and you guys can, if you like AMD better than Apple, you can watch AMD. There's no right or wrong stock at this moment because all of these look very, very good, right? So you can be picky as to what to watch. If you prefer to watch AMD because the price is a little bit better, a little bit lower, maybe you like trading within that range, you can do that. You got some flexibility here. But I'm going to stick with Apple this morning. LK is interesting because it looks like it might be heading back down to test this area. But the issue we have is there is no shares for sure with IB. So I'm not sure what broker you're with. If you have shares for sure, this could be an interesting one. But with that said, I'm going to remove it because I want to see stocks today that can play both ways. So I'm going to take off LK. Zoom this morning looks very interesting. It's the only one that's down 2%. That's not a low flow. And also that has been trading very, very well. So I'm going to keep an eye on this one. Right now down 2.2. It will be hitting our gappers list. There it is in a second here with some good volume. So we'll keep an eye on that one. Here's Oxy. Oxy heading back down after testing 1420. So this is one of the oil companies that actually trades pretty good, pretty clean. We've seen some good action out of it yesterday. If you can see here, the markets were doing well, and this thing was ripping up nicely into the close. So we'll keep an eye on that one. And then we have some of the ones here. We have two, which is not a low flow stock, but is active. We have these two here that are low flow stocks. We'll look at those in a bit later. All right, so we have a bit of a list here, guys, but I think we have a really good list this morning, same like we had yesterday. Our high of a pre-market for NCLH is going to be at 1236. Let's mark that down. The low of the pre-market sitting over at 1111, so we'll mark that down. Towards the bottom, guys, plenty of levels down here, highs and lows from the last two trading days. Do not need to add any more. Towards the top, if we can get above this pre-market high, we do have a level here over at 1529. Now, remember last time we had this little pop here, we went all the way up to 20 bucks. So again, I'm not sure if that's what's in the books for today, but we know that this is a possibility. We have some great levels here. We did that in a matter of 2 days, basically 2 to 3 days here. So again, we're getting a real nice rally here over the last couple of days. The market is playing nice this morning as it did yesterday. So let's see where this is going to lead to us today. We do have a level here you can mark down here at 1690, almost 17. The reason I like this level, guys, is because you have some 2 days opening and closing right in this area. Right, and obviously you got the level all the way up here at 20. We definitely not going to make that there today, probably in a couple of days if we continue to rally the way we have been now. Here is CCL, another one that, okay, and see now CCL is starting to look nice. It's breaking out of this nasty choppiness that it had a couple of minutes ago. So a new pre-market high here sitting at 1233. Let's mark that down. Above that beautiful level here at 1452. and also you got 1614 and all the way up here. Again, I don't think we're definitely going to make that's a stretch this morning, but 1452 is possible if the market is going to continue to rally the way it is right now. Your low of your pre-market slightly above the highs from yesterday, sitting at 1151, and then towards the bottom, guys, plenty of levels since we've been consolidating here the last couple of days. You have your highs and lows below that previous day close level. So CCL looking really good, guys. Really good volume. 9 million shares right now being traded. This thing is really trading pretty nice. Now, in the pre-market, guys, we usually do not do levels here, but I do love the way this level is set up here. Again, this thing was chopping around, and for some reason, it continued to hold 1192. We want to mark this down here and have that on your list in case we get a pullback. This could be an interesting level to have aside from your pre-market low at 1153. Let's head down to United. So we got some airlines coming in. United, again, trading very well, up nicely 18%. High of our pre-market right now is sitting at 28.40. 48. Let's see if we can break through that. Above that, you do have a very nice level here at 33.61, also with a nice moving average. Now, again, last time we rallied, this thing went all the way up to about 40, so that's a possibility in the next coming days. It's a possibility to get to 33.61 if we continue to rally the way we have been. And 39 a day or two later if this continues. We do have a nice level in between the 33.61 and the price action now. You do have an area right here at 30.71. You have several days opening, closing, and also bouncing of that 30.76 to be exact. So you want to definitely have that on your list. That could be an area where you can lose some momentum, take some profits, or even reverse. It's not a major level like the other ones are, but it's a good level to have on your list. Here's American Airlines also trading very well. At both of these stocks, you cannot go wrong with either one. If you want something a little bit higher price, United is the way to go, 28 bucks. Something with a lighter price, American Airlines down at 11 bucks. So either one is trading well. I'm going to stick with United for today. So I'm going to do levels on American Airlines, but we'll remove this one from my personal list here. So high of the pre-market 1109. Above this, we're sitting at another great level 1212. You have several days having some rejections around that area and some support here as well. Above that, you have 1296. I think that's enough for today. Again, if we get into this area, that is a really, really good day. I don't think that's going to be happening over at 1296 at least. So I'm going to remove American Airlines. I'll keep United. I like the way United is trading right now. Looking very good. Here is MGM this morning. Also very active. High of our pre-market is actually sitting at 1534. But this level here, this 1526 is off the daily. So I'm going to keep that on there too. This off the daily here. Nice rejection there. Came all the way back down to 13 from that 1530. 26. So we'll keep that on there. Towards the bottom, guys, you do have your pre-market low. We can remove this one now. Actually, we could keep that one on there because that's also a nice daily off for these 2 days here. So we'll keep that on there. But slightly below that, 1369 is the pre-market low. We want to have that on there. Above the highs, we do have 1681. So we'll mark that down. If we can get into that area, that would be nice. Again, MGM was very strong yesterday, gapping up nicely even today, up another 16.2 with some really good volume. So here's Coast this morning. Again, not one of my favorites right now. It's got to get a better pre-market activity, but I like that it's gapping up this morning. It's the one retailer that looks pretty decent. Everything else is it's related to travel and vacation companies. This one's on a different field industry, so I definitely want to keep an eye on this one in case we get some great movements out of this. 1670 is the high of the pre-market. Above that, the last time we rallied, we made it all the way up to 1893. Now, this one is very close to this last hump that we had here, right? A lot of these other stocks, the move was a lot higher. I don't think you're going to get there today. This one has an opportunity to make it here if the SPY is going to be strong, if the market overall is going to stay positive and head north this morning. Towards the bottom, your low of your pre-market, very close towards the high of yesterday, so don't really need to mark that down. You do have your highs and lows from the last 2 trading days, creating a beautiful base down here. Hopefully, we can continue to head higher on this one this morning. Here's Uber. So Uber starting to get a little bit better, but again, it's still very light in the pre-market, but that's typical Uber. We've seen it more often than not have that type of pre-market activity. I love this level here, guys. 28.25 is a clear area of resistance. Over the last couple of 2 weeks, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days on here that could not break out of this 28.25. Our pre-market is a little bit lower than that. It's sitting at 27.79. You do want to mark that, but if we can break out of that this pre-market this level here, 28.31, is a good one to have to get into. Towards the bottom, guys, plenty of levels. You do have your low of your pre-market sitting over at 26.65. Below that, you have your previous day close over at 26. and then below that, highs and lows from the last 2 trading days on Uber. If we can break out of this level and even out of this area of resistance, you have a nice little run up all the way up to 29. Again, that's a stretch, but if it can break out of that, out of this level, you definitely have a great shot to make that 28.80. Here's BA. BA has been, again, just great to trade over the last couple of days. Ever since this thing dropped from the 350 price range, it has been so clean to trade. However, pre-market struggling here big time, trying to get above this 163.97. Has tested it several times on here, just banging its head above that. If it can break out of that, you have an area at 173.02. A couple of days here, closing and being rejected around that area, and then above that 186.28 is another area you can get to. Towards the bottom, you just want to mark down the low of the pre-market at 156, and then below that, highs and lows from the last 2 trading days, and also previous day close got you covered. Here is Apple, guys, and another one that's struggling, trying to get above the pre-market high right now. So sitting right on here, pre-market high at 270.41. Let's see if it can break out of that. If it does, we do have a level here at 278.41. Your pre-market low is very close. Again, very tight range here. Only $2 compared to a lot of stocks that have a lot more than that. 269.59 is your pre-market low. So 269.59. Excuse me. There we go. Right up. No, is that right? It doesn't seem right for the pre-market low. 269.59 is what I'm getting from here. But does not seem right. Seems like it's could be lower than that. Seems like it's right over here. So no, that looks funky. Is that just on me, or is that on your end as well? To me, it looks like it could be 267. The pre-market low. So I'm gonna mark this here, but we'll look inside a little bit more. The pre-market is saying that it's up here, but that just looks like an error to me there. So I'm going to mark down 267. That's what the chart is showing as the pre-market low here on Apple. So it's weird in this 5 minute how this is looking. Also on the daily looks weird. All right, we'll have to look at Apple in a second. Here is Zoom, guys. Zoom is hopefully doesn't leave us, man. This thing is dropping nicely, 2.6 right now. Some really good volume. The low of the pre-market is sitting all the way at 118. So let's mark that down. Below that, we do have another level here from a couple of days ago, 114. This 111 was probably a pre-market level, so we're going to remove that. And then we have our low from yesterday all the way down to this area, 108. And we know Zoom can definitely move. These levels are not a stretch for Zoom. Zoom can hit this with no problem at all. So.
Well,
Yep.
keep in mind, if you look at yesterday's pre-market, Zoom dropped like a rock. It looked like it was going to leave without us to the short side, and then it just popped like a madman. So,
oh yeah. I mean, you got to be. It's one of those stocks where you got to be very
it's so
careful.
tough to trade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you can time things correctly and have a good risk and stop loss, you can definitely take advantage of this. Low of the pre-market right now sitting at 118, so I'm gonna mark that down right over here. There we go. So 118 on Zoom. Let's see what it does. See if we can get to that pre-market low at the moment. So again, looking really active right now, down 2.8. Is one of the stocks, the only one of the stocks that's red at the moment that we have looked through that I really like. Here is Oxy. So Oxy is breaking out of 1421, looking good. As far as levels, you know what? I'm not going to keep this one on here, guys. It doesn't trade all that well. It was good yesterday. It's a great stock to watch if you want to watch the oil companies, but I'm going to remove this one from my list. I got way too many that look really good. All right, let's look at some of these low flow stocks, starting with APT. This is a low flow. So again, right now, I don't even know if we do have shares for short on this one. Not that I recommend shorting a low flow stock, but on the daily, guys, again, you do have a level here, pre-market low, sitting right at 13.96, so we can mark that down. Below that, you do have an area here at 12. But on something like this, you want to be careful. You want to look out for 13. You want to look out for these whole dollar numbers. This is very important. This is a low flow stock, so it can move quite a bit on you. If you get 20, 15 cents out of this, you want to take profits immediately. You don't want to say, oh, I got to get to 13, 16, or I got to get to 12, 22, the exact level. Be very cautious in doing that. This thing can whipsaw pretty fast the opposite direction. So I'm personally not going to be watching this one, but you do have some highs and lows here that's got you covered previous day close. But from my own watches, I'm going to remove this one. I'm going to remove this one as well, AKER. Again, I think the pre-market looks a little bit all over the place. Had a great day yesterday, but this is also another low flow that's up nice 27% this morning. 1.6 million shares traded at the moment. Right now, if we look at pre-market highs, I mean, you have a level all the way at 150. You do have a little pop here that you should mark down at 639, 640 in the pre-market. That looks like an area where you have some some kind of a change in direction. You also tested that a couple of minutes ago, trying to get back up there now. And then in this area here, do we have the highs from yesterday? Yeah, the highs from yesterday is right over here, so that's covered already. So I'm not going to personally watch this one, guys, so I'm going to remove it, but it's very active this morning at 1.6 million shares traded. Now, here's two. This one I'm on the fence on. I'm not sure what to think about at the moment. It is a lower price stock. It is, it's not a low flow stock. It's a higher flow. Right now, it's got a decent pre-market activity, some volume, 547. My issue is I'm not a great trader on these low price stocks that are not that are mid to large flow stocks. It's just I don't trade them well. I think it's just because maybe the price action is a little bit different on these. I'm not sure, but again, we have here our high of a pre-market 444 at the moment, 440 to be exact. We have another level here all the way up at around 538. And then above that, we have another one here at 639. So again, some really good levels here off the daily. You have a pretty nice base here, marking down the highs from the last two trading days. Also the low of the pre-markets, guys, you cover here. But for me personally, guys, I'm going to remove this one. I really like the list I have up here so far. And even out of this main list I have here, I still got to get rid of some. There's still way too many at the moment. So let's do a quick recap starting from the bottom. So Zoom, we like. Oh, Zoom is just gap. Do we have shares for short? Yes, we do. Good. It's on short selling restriction already. But this one's gapping down nicely, guys. So down 3.2 right now. It looks like it just wants to lose and head towards this 18 and hopefully this 114. So Zoom is trading very well at the moment. Apple, everybody seems to be banging their head against the pre-market highs. Apple's doing the same. BA is doing the same. Uber is trying to get up there to 27. I like Uber. Coast is rejecting a bit here. That looks good. MGM, very nice, clean pre-market activity. So I like MGM as one of my favorites this morning. American Airlines also rejecting here, looking good in the pre-market. You can also look at, I'm sorry, that's United Airlines. You can also look at American Airlines. That one also looks very good as well. And CCL and NCLH, all of them just kind of giving a little bit back, a little pullback at the moment. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I got to get rid of about 2 or 3 from this list. But we'll fine tune this. Only 9:13 Eastern time, guys. So we have a lot of time to go before 9:30. We're going to continue to fine tune this in the chat and kind of see what we come up with. Norm, anything else that you have looked at besides what we have that might have caught your attention?
Well, I think you've probably looked at everything I'm going to watch. Apple, NVIDIA, Roku, Boeing, MGM, UAL, CCL, Tesla, KSS. I'm going to have Love on mine as well, LUV.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll probably pick another airline, maybe UAL, or I already have that. Yep,
Yeah.
that's it. That's what I got.
All right, excellent. All right, guys. So let's take a look, go around since we have 2 minutes, a minute and change left. Let's look at what Peter's watching. He has KSS, American Airlines, CCL as his main watch. His secondary, he has Delta, RCL, Macy's, AMD, MGM, and BA, and Microsoft. So nice long secondary list there for Peter. Thor is watching his usual suspects. CCL has been on Thor's list almost every single day. And I think I'm mine as well, except yesterday. I didn't have it yesterday. American Airlines and Uber for Thor. Eamon is watching CCL, NCLH, TRRY. TLRY. We did not look at that one. Let's take a look. TLRY has a good pre-market activity as well. It's very, very interesting this morning. Nice little base here. Possible breakout. So that's good. And then Delta. All right, excellent, guys. So again, we got some really good stuff going on there. I think our watch list today looks really good. Looks like at the moment, like the market is going to be strong. So we'll see at the open how it continues to do that. Already in the pre-market, we have had several tests of this 274 level. Looks like. So let's see if we can get back up there and try to break out above that. So, all right, folks. Yep.
I'm adding Zoom, by the way. I've
yeah.
never seen Zoom trade with this 1 cent spread. Now it still potentially makes these wild moves, but it's got great volume in the last few minutes.
Yep, I
And its
agree.
spread has been between 1 and 10 cents, which is pretty unheard of. It's not right now, but
Yeah,
off and
yep.
on, and that's pre-market. So I'll watch it at the open for sure.
Yeah, no, Zoom is definitely one of the ones I like the most out of this list because one is not trading with the market. Obviously, it's gapping down nice this morning. Has a really good pre-market activity. Had a big day yesterday, even after a huge gap down. It recovered, right? Right. The sell down, like you mentioned, was all in the pre-market, and it was able to recover nicely. So we'll see. Might not have the same luck today as it continues to bleed here down to 118. Guys, thank you so much for joining us on YouTube. Take care. Trade safe today. We will see you again later at 3:30 for the close of the trading day. So join Peter and either Brian, I believe, is going to join him, or sometimes Mike comes on with him, and let's see what kind of hats these guys are wearing later on today. Take care, guys. Trade safe. We'll see you tomorrow morning.
Take care, guys. Trade safe.